And so, day one of the North Carolina Republican Party convention is in the books. So we started off today, just 10 minutes late, kind of not really late, but I like to be very accurate about time and numbers. So we started at 1:10 this afternoon. Of course, Robin Hayes did his little speech and about we got to elect the Republicans and all that stuff. And so, some of these speeches, I'm going to hit the highlights. Jeopardy starts in 21 minutes. I know, I wish the Charlotte affiliate here would have Jeopardy at 7:30 instead of 7, but that's the way it is. Anyway, we're going to start with all the speeches. I'm just going to, if something's interesting to me, I put it in the notes, and here we go. Vice Chair Michelle Nix says we have 3 seats on the appellate court that are up for election, as well as the Judge Barbara Jackson seat is up too. Next, we have the North Carolina Federation of College Republicans. The man there is Bryson Smith is the leader there. There's 30 chapters in North Carolina, and they just created 3 in the last year. They have 1,000 members in the state, and they have contributed funds to mayor races, in Charlotte and Fayetteville just last year. They're also the largest college Republican federation in the Southeast. Next, we have Carl Reamer of the NC Federation of Young Republicans. He says that memberships this year is up 20%. And he said the other side, the Democrats, want to shut down debate. They said, well, the Democrats say if you're for lower taxes, you are for destroying the poor, which is not true. And if you're for the Second Amendment, you're for killing children, which is also not true. A couple of their liberal strawman things. And he also said on September 8th, there's going to be a human trafficking summit in Raleigh. Next on the day was NC Federation of Republican Women President Pat Smith. And she kind of jokingly said, we are shameless about raising money, LOL. Little funny thing there. And she said that 76% of Republican women voted in 2016. That's a huge number. And it definitely helped Donald Trump get elected. And then she talked a lot about the Second Amendment and school safety. And she said that the Republican women are going to wear their pink and green shirts at the polls. And they're going to hand out GOP voter guides. They're hoping that the people will say, what a cute shirt you have on. And then Mrs. Smith says, well, we got them now. Because that's their hook is where they're wearing their pink and green shirts. And, people think, oh, these people care. And they do. Republicans do care about school safety and gun safety, too. Next, we have the NC Federation of Republican Men, Bob Pruitt. If you don't know Bob, he's lives up in, Carteret County, over on the east side of the state. He's been around a long time. He's in his early 80s, and he's showing no sign of slowing down, which, hey, that's a great thing. He said that the Republican men's group in North Carolina started with about 40 people, but then they had 350 members, and that's just from the past year. And then he said if you come to his hospitality suite tonight, if you're one of the first 10 people to buy a t-shirt for $10, he will give you a bag of his homemade pork skins. So I might buy a shirt. Who knows? Because pork skins, that sounds pretty good to me. It's in that whole realm of the Eastern Carolina barbecue. So next we have the RNC National Hispanic Assembly for North Carolina, which is Carlos Vidalis. And he says that they're most active in Western North Carolina, which I find a little unusual. I would think they'd be a little more active in, say, down in Wilmington or Raleigh, the eastern part of the state. But because the climate's a little less snowy on the east side of the state than is out west, but that's surprising. He also said that Iredell County just created a chapter, and then Catawba County is getting ready to start a chapter for the Hispanic Assembly. And he said just a few months ago they took a trip to the White House and visited the RNC building, too. They have about 20 people. And then he said something that really, the media talks all the time about the Hispanic demographic in this country and how they're fastly growing, but these numbers will blow your mind. Okay, in 2004, there were 10,000 Hispanics in North Carolina that are registered voters. Okay, in 2016, that number shot up to 165,000. I mean, that's a tenfold increase in only 12 years, which makes you think like, oh boy, Republicans really got to make inroads with Hispanics sooner rather than later. Next, we have the Frederick Douglass Foundation. Clarence Henderson's the name. He talked about they're targeted in the congressional districts of District 2, which is up Raleigh area, District 9, Charlotte area, District 13, and Greensboro area. Try to get the black vote out there. He also said they're teaming up with the Family Research Council as well as the Faith and Freedom Coalition. He also said they're having a membership drive for 1,000 black Republicans. And he says he wants to convert at 10 to 15% of blacks to the GOP. I actually saw a Ben Carson for president ad a couple years ago, and he said that, if Republicans can just get 18% of the black vote, 18%, that's it, then the Democrats are done. I mean, they have no other recourse, basically, for they can run up the score on Hispanics and, Asians, but no, 18% is the magic number for Republicans. Remember that. Next, we have Mr. David Sawyer of the District and County Chairmen's Association. And I'll admit that I have a little bone to pick with Mr. Sawyer because he talks about tomorrow we have a breakfast and then we have training at the Crown Plaza Hotel. I'm like, Mr. Sawyer, would have been good to find out about that ahead of time. And, you always got to be so secretive about this organization. I mean, I would have liked to join and use that to kind of work my way up in the party. And instead, you just, you do what they do down in Florida, cater to the elites. So, Mr. Sawyer, really, I might show up there tomorrow and see if I can get in, or might go tonight and see what's up. But yeah, you really have to remember that, your district and county chairmen are they're always replaceable, and you always need to build your bench, grow your team, and keep looking out for who the next generation of leaders are. Okay? I don't mean to be mean to Mr. Sawyer. I'm just stating my facts. And then we have the Brenda Rimbert. Yeah, Brenda Rimbert is the chairwoman of the Catawba County Republican Party, and she went into a little bit of places you can visit here in Catawba County. And the two that I found most interesting was Bunker Hill Bridge and Baker's Mountain. And she said there are 45,000 registered Republicans in Catawba County, which is I don't know what the population is off, but yeah, it's got to be less than 100,000 in Catawba, I think, somewhere around there. But yeah, pretty good number. Then we have Hank Guess. He said the first Republican Women's Club in North Carolina was formed in 1953. And then he said Hickory is the 10th best place in the nation to live, according to Reader's Digest. And he said that we used to be about furniture manufacturing, but now we're about fiber optics as Costco, not Costco, but Cos, C-O-S-C-O, is headquartered there in Hickory. Then we had some remarks from the 10th Congressional District Chairman, Mr. Brad Overcash. And then we had Chairman Hayes with his remarks, what the state of the party was. And he said that, talked a lot about Nation Builder. And the good thing for me is that Guilford County is on Nation Builder. So it's something that I can kind of, when I'm not doing convention or I'm not finishing my homework for my college classes this week, I can go on Nation Builder and see what's up. Then we had the appointment of convention officers. He read through them so fast. I was like, Stryker, you're coming in too fast. But the only person that I recognize was the B.J. Barnes, who's the sheriff of Guilford County. And is the sergeant of arms for the convention. And he's been sheriff, I believe, since 92 in Guilford County. So he's a good Republican from what I know. But the sad thing is that A.J. Dowd is not at the convention this year. It'd be nice if he was, because I remember he would always be sergeant at arms, and we would have a quorum call, and he'd be like, "Take your seats," you know. He'd be loud. He'd be polite, but he'd be loud. So there you go. And then we did some experimentation with electronic voting. We had, it says, Best North Carolina College. Yeah, this was definitely a rowdy one. NC State, 30% of the vote. Appalachian State, 28% of the vote. And then a tie for last between UNC and Duke with 21%. And, of course, Dallas is from NC State. So he was like, if you vote for UNC, you're going to hell. If you vote for NC State, you're going to heaven. If you vote for Duke, then you and Robin are going to heaven. If you vote for App State, you're just a bumpkin. I think he said something like that. And then the next question was, worst governor of North Carolina. Okay. This one surprised me a little bit. The winner was Bev Perdue, believe it or not, with 37% of the vote, followed by Roy Cooper with 35% of the vote. I think that Roy Cooper would have won landslide here, but he didn't. Next, Mike Easley, 23%, and last, as it should be, because he was a good moderate Democrat. Okay, Jim Hunt with 4%, and Jim Hunt worked with the Republican legislature back in the mid-'90s to cut the sales tax on groceries. And then, unfortunately, Mike Easley and the Democrats put it right back in. So, now we're in the business session. The business is about to begin. And guess what? Credentials and Billy Miller, who's the convention chairman, he's been doing this since the 90s, and he says the first time he's ever remembered that credentials report is ready and on time to be read. But spoke too soon, because apparently there was a traffic accident on I-40 somewhere between Hickory and Raleigh, and apparently they decided to bend the rules of registration, have people register late, which is one of my huge pet peeves. I'm like, you know, I'm going to keep saying this probably until the good Lord takes me home. Register on Thursday. Register on Thursday. Register on Thursday, okay? Stop waking up Friday morning, okay, at 10, 11 o'clock, getting in your car and thinking you could simply drive an hour and a half from Raleigh and get to the convention on time. It ain't happening, honey, okay? Really? Oh, sorry, folks. Okay. So we had a 1 hour delay. And actually more than that, because we had 1 hour, and then we started the business again at 3:30. And then by the time we got credentials through, the final credentials report was at 4 o'clock. So 90-minute delay. Okay? I mean, really. Ugh. People. You know? I just wish that people took this event as seriously as I do. You know? I mean, really. And there's another pet peeve I have, but I'll share that a little bit later on. Now we get to the Rules Committee. This was the first time ever this is my 5th convention now, that there's been some debate on the Rules Committee. We have Betty Edwards of Cabarrus County. She made a motion to amend Rule 4. She wanted to add the convention registration fee must be set by the Central Committee before convention, and the fee must be paid before delegates take the convention floor. And she also said the plan of organization is very clear on this. NCGOP may charge a delegate fee to cover the business session based on the cost of hosting the convention. But we did have opposition from Martha Jenkins of Orange County. She stated that the rule is already covered in the planned organization. No need for duplication. Support was anybody who votes should pay the fee to vote, right? That's a good point. Point of information was done by Brad Overcash from the 10th District. He says, this is an issue. Has anybody not paid the fee and voted? And then Dallas Woodhouse, NCGOP Executive Director, chimed in and said, we did an audit and there was nobody that did not pay. So, let's see. We had a microphone issue because some delegate messed with the microphone. That was a little controversy. We have Mrs. James from Craven County said that is our practice, and this is good practice. Everyone should pay the delegate fee. Let's see. Then we had Mr. Ralph of Jackson County. He moved the previous question, which means to end debate. And this amendment to add the thing about have your payment done before taking the floor to convention failed, unfortunately. I just don't understand, but okay. Now we have point information for Macon County. What is the purpose of having presidential election rules in the 2018 edition? Well, it's first, the chair remarked, for simplicity, and so that rules don't change drastically from year to year. Then we have the point of information on electronic voting. He wanted to know about our votes, about the county and the weighted vote, and says, well, you can always tell with the weighted vote if that county vote has only one delegate. Then we have a Tom Austin of Onslow County talked about proxy voting and everything like that. Rules were adopted. Then we have point of information from Dr. Fisher, making sure that there's no endorsements in contested primaries. Plan of organization. Basically, everything I stated before in a previous video, everything passed. I was thinking that the one on the newspapers and the one on the Central Committee meetings would be a little bit controversial, but it did not have any controversy. The only one that did was the one on endorsing in non-primaries. Let's see. Oh, here we go. How is the NCGOP going to notify lawyers that will be interested in running for a court seat? Well, the chair said 3 months ago, Chairman Hayes sent out a letter to all executive committee members and many other state GOPers. And then, did you know this? When two Republicans run for the same seat in a general election, then the county party has the ability to endorse one of them. Let's see. And then, let's see, Mike of Craven County will know how do we vote on something without debate. Anyone leaving the convention for the day needs to please turn in their device, their little electronic device. The sergeant of arms, do not leave it on the seat. Somebody could vote twice or a non-delegate could vote. Let's see, motion to call the previous question on the whole endorsing primaries. I said no, I think more debate was needed, but the delegates by 87% to 13% said yes. Then a lady said that she attempted to vote on one more device, and the chairman said, bye-bye, see you later. Of course, he was joking, but there you go. Somebody said that she's a Democrat. Then we have a point of information from Danbury of Union County. Duly called executive committee meetings is the chair's understanding that any executive committee meeting can endorse candidates. Then we have Mrs. Ramsey from Caldwell County in the plan of organization. There's a cabinet for endorsement meetings. Let's see. Now we go. The chair approaches the bench for a few minutes to look at this. And I was thinking this language I think would clean things up a bit with judicial primaries. I thought it should go through, and it did. 89 to 11. Let's see here. I'm up against the clock. Let's see. Okay. We had, well, I don't want to rush through things. Okay. We'll talk about the platform in my next video. Sure. Yeah. Bye-bye for now.